Okay, so in episode 1, I made a joke and I made a couple of comments about how the first episode was them basically ripping off Bewitched. Episode 2, they flat out ripped off Bewitched. WandaVision, episode 2. Oh, I don't know how I feel about this. And it's weird for me because, like I said, I'm a huge Bewitched fan. So to see them flat out rip off Bewitched, I don't know if I'm like happy about this or offended. But it is what it, I mean, at the end of the day, I guess I enjoyed it. So anyway, episode 2. This episode starts where the two of them, like, they're at the house, they're talking again, like they're having a little marital conversation. They have some things that they have to do today. They're interacting with the public. Wanda is going to talk to the Housewives Committee, and Vision is going to go have a chat with the husbands. When Wanda leaves the house, she's actually walking towards the front bushes, and then she sees, because again, the whole show is in black and white, because they're making fun of 60s sitcoms. As Wanda's leaving the house and she's walking towards like the shrubbery, she sees an airplane in the bushes, and the airplane is actually color. And, it's like a red and yellow, it's like a red and like orange yellowish like airplane, and Wanda is aware of the fact that everything around them is in black and white, and that this particular kid's toy is in color. She's aware of the color variation. So now she's kind of like being, what the hell is going on right here? So then I was about to call her Dottie. The neighbor showed Agnes. Agnes shows up. I actually like Agnes. She shows up, and the two of them walk towards, they end up going towards the housewife party. She actually made a funny joke because when Agnes was just like, "Oh, can I give you some advice, Wanda?" And she was like, "Is it about my outfit?" And then Agnes was like, "Nah, girl, it's too late for that one." But I thought that was funny. So anyway, so they go to the wives club. There's like this uppity, snooty blonde woman. She's just like, "Oh, I'm like the leader of the wives club, and I plan everything, and I do all this buffoonery." And then, they're, she's kind of snippy. She's a little snippy. There was a black woman there, which I thought was weird because black people wasn't around back then. Wanda ends up making friends with the black woman. They introduce each other. They told each other their names, and so now the two of them are actually going to be cool because in every Marvel film, movie, or television show, there's always a black best friend. So this woman is now going to be Wanda's black best friend. The committee, said they basically said they were going to do a talent show. It was going to be a talent show, and the wives and the husbands have to basically, well, that's not wives and husbands. They're basically doing a talent show. Wanda and Vision are going to be a part of the talent show. They're talking about how they're going to put the talent show thing together. While they're talking about how they're going to put the talent show thing together, Vision was basically just like, "Oh, we mustn't tell everybody our secrets." So now, so they're having the conversation. At the end of the wives club situation, Wanda was told to stay behind to help the woman in charge clean up, the whole situation. While she's cleaning up, like the garden party or whatever, the head woman, she's being a little bitchy, a little snippy, and when her and Wanda kind of like, are like face to face talking, the radio next to them went off. And there was a voice coming out of the radio saying, like, "Wanda, are you okay? Wanda, how did this happen to you? How did this happen to you?" And then all of a sudden, like the radio just stops, and then like the woman had a glass in her hand, and then like she ended up breaking the glass, and then like her hand, started bleeding, and then but the blood that was coming out of her hand was actually red as well. So then she went to go like take care of her wounds, and Wanda's just sitting here thinking about like, wow, what the hell was going on with this radio? Like I said before, I don't know if she's in a coma. I don't know if she's knocked out, if she was in a battle, somebody beat her up, or if she's like kidnapped and trapped somewhere. But Wanda is creating this entire thing. Like her self-conscious is creating this whole world. She's creating a happy ending for herself. Throughout the whole episode, she kept making comments about how every time somebody mentioned kids to her, she like gasped and like clutched her pearls, as to say like she would never have children. Like that was something, that for some reason was scaring her. But wherever she is, someone, whether it's a member of the Avengers, whether it's a friend or whatever, someone's trying to get her out of whatever coma, that she's in, or whatever the situation may be. So now Vision he ends up going talk to the dudes. He's having a conversation with the guys at the club, and they're just like, a bunch of dudes just having a good old time. The one black dude, and obviously the one black dude that was at the table is married to the one black girl who was at the garden party with the afro and everything. He kind of looked like Fat Albert Daddy, and they were they were just talking, yucking it up. They had offered Vision some gum, like some Big Red. He ate the gum. And then when he ate the gum, it got stuck in his circuit system, because they had like the magical wheels were turning, the gizmos and the bolts were turning, and the gum got stuck in his system. Because it was slowing down Vision's system, it was making him talk slower, making him move slower. He was kind of getting dumb. It made it sound like he was like drunk or he was high or something. So, but he's not aware of the fact that the gum is doing this to his system. He ends up showing up to the talent show basically high. So now Wanda was supposed to be his assistant. They were doing a magic act. The black girl, she was the host of the whole situation. So she was the one sending everybody, telling everybody it's your time to go, it's your time to go, etc., etc. So while they're there, now that Vision's basically high, he's using his actual powers to do the magic tricks. He was actually he levitated himself off the ground. He was doing things to where he lifted a piano and everybody was like, oh my, how is he able to do this? And Wanda, she's just like, yo, bro, what the F? And then in true Bewitched fashion, she ends up using her power to basically, because one thing they talked about in the beginning, they were talking about how you don't let the audience know how you do the tricks. But in order to cover the fact that Vision was exposing, their secrets or whatever, Wanda used her magic to set the tricks up in a way to make it seem like they were making the audience, because Vision did say, when Vision drunkenly got on stage, the first thing that came out of his mouth was, we're going to show you some things, and he's like, we're going to show you some crazy things, and you're going to believe us, because that's part of the magic. He said the magic is, well, I don't know if he said it, but basically he was like, the magic isn't us showing you the trick. The magic is these tricks aren't real, but you're going to believe that it's real. So Wanda played on that, and when Vision levitated himself off the ground, Wanda used her magic to create like a rope that was holding him up from the ceiling. And everybody was like, oh, that's how he did it. When he lifted the piano, Wanda used her magic to turn the piano into a flat cardboard, picture of a piano. And then she turned it to the side. Everybody was like, oh, that's how he did it. They were doing like all these different things to quote unquote expose the magic tricks. But then in the end, it got to the point where Vision basically, he took his hat and he fused his hat through his own body and out to the other side. And then when everybody was like, oh, shoot, how'd he do that? Wanda, snapped her fingers a la Samantha Stevens style, and she made some mirrors show up, and everybody was like, oh, it was a mirror trick. And then one person was smart enough to be like, I didn't know mirrors could do that, but everybody else was just like, shut up, it was cool. So then after that, the final trick was they were supposed to put Wanda in a cupboard and make her disappear. Old school magic trick. They couldn't, but Vision ended up swirling the box around, and before Wanda even got in it, and everybody was, I guess everybody heard a thud or whatever the case may be, and then everybody was just like, well, shit, your wife didn't get into the box, and apparently you opened the box, you showed us that it was empty. We heard a thud. Your wife didn't get into the damn thing, so who's in the box? And everybody was like, what's in the box? So then, Wanda snapped her fingers, and then the black girl went from backstage, and she ended up in the box. Later on, the black woman actually questioned. She was like, yo, how the hell did... She's like, I was backstage, and now I'm in the box. How'd you do that? And then they were just like, oh, we're not going to reveal our magical secrets, because back then people just believed shit like that, and they didn't really... But the black folk, they were smart enough to ask questions. So, but like I said, but they ended up believing it in the end. So then, they got an award for being the best at the talent show. It's weird because it's basically like they're basically giving us a regular sitcom. They're giving us a regular sitcom with regular sitcom situations, and they're just trying to tie into this whole like Truman Show coma thing in the process. So, so the two of them, they go back home, and they're sitting on the couch, and then Wanda gets up to go get some popcorn, and then all of a sudden her stomach's out, and then he's like, oh my God, Wanda, you're pregnant. And she's just like, yes, Vision. And then he's like, is this all happily ever after? And she's like, yes, this is all happy ending. And then some loud noise came outside. Both of them went out into the streets to see what happened. Some guy dressed up like a beekeeper came out of the sewer. And when Wanda saw him, she was like, no, you won't do this to me. And then she used her magic. She rewound time. And then she put the two of them back into the situation where where he was just like, oh, you're going to have my baby, and then she was just like, yes, and then the two of them kissed and made up, and then the show was over. But then right before the show ended, you heard that same voice saying, Wanda, are you okay? What's going on? How did this happen to you? Who did this to you? So whoever's with her, that's how the show ended. Whoever's with her is trying to wake her out of this coma or get her out of this alternate reality. Someone found a way to get into the reality, and I don't know why the person came out through the sewer. Somebody found a way to get into the reality, and Wanda basically pushed that person back to where they were. Wanda is creating this entire situation, and she's trying to give herself a happy ending. Vision is not real. Vision's not real, ladies and gentlemen. He's not here. He's just a figment of Wanda's magic and her imagination. I feel like the people, these are real people. She didn't just create these people. She basically magically trapped all of these people into this town, and she's forcing everybody to play these events out. It's a little unclear because there are moments where it seems like she's not doing it on purpose, but then there are other moments where it seems like she is doing it on purpose. And I don't know if this is just like her self-conscious at play, trying to protect herself, or is Wanda just, she's very aware of what's going on, and she's just forcing these poor people to live this lie. And and that was it. Like I said before, the Bewitched aspect of the show is honestly the one thing about it that I like. Because again, as a Bewitched fan, as an old school Bewitched fan, I appreciate this. I enjoy it. That doesn't mean it's good. The show so far, it's not the best. It's not the best. Like, it's watchable. It's decent. It's okay. There are times where it's very cheesy and very bad, but it's supposed to be cheesy. It's designed to be cheesy. And the fact that they're going the old school route, like, it's not something I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to rewatch the first two episodes like over and over again. But, like I said, but it's just like, it'll get better before before the season's over. It's decent. It's decent. Me personally, I would have much preferred they started with Falcon Winter Soldier, because at least that had some oomph and some action to it. They started with WandaVision, so I can't complain about that. So we're looking forward to episode 3, because now she's pregnant. And apparently color has, that was another thing she did at the end of the episode. She introduced color to the whole thing, so we're out of the black and white and we're into the color. So, like I said, it's interesting to the point where I want to know what the hell's going on. And we will talk about what's going on, and like I said, we'll review this as it goes along. The episodes aren't that long, though. Each episode is basically like 30-something minutes, maybe 25 minutes. So they're short episodes. So like I said, for short episodes, I can deal with it. I just hope that this whole Bewitched theme doesn't last the entire season. Like, eventually we got to snap out of this. But the show's cool, but I'm not doing backflips over. So thank you for tuning in. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about the episode. Let me know what you think about WandaVision so far. Is it dragging for you? Do you think it's okay? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Like I said, there's no wrong answer, because everybody likes different things. So, but just let me know what you think. What you think about it, and let's say we'll have a discussion. Check me out on social media. Hit the notification button, like it or subscribe. Check me out on Twitter and or Instagram. We'll be here reviewing the WandaVision all the way to the end. So until next time, guys, we'll see you for season 3. We'll see you for episode 3. And until then, we're out. Oh, don't forget, Batwoman. My Batwoman episode 1 review should be coming Monday morning. So on Monday. Batwoman comes out Sunday at 8 or 9 o'clock, so the review will be up Monday. Definitely check out Batwoman, because I'm looking forward to that. So until next time, guys, take care. And for WandaVision, I'm out this bitch.